fixed. I will show you now with another camera. Just a second. I fixed my paper on the cardboard.
Okay.
If you can see.
Yes, very clear.
If the quality of image is okay. Okay. And I will tell you what I have on the table. So, of course, I have a paper. Speaking about the paper, this time is the Chinese, the new Chinese paper. And I find this paper very, very good. And you can buy on internet, and it's cheaper. And I'm not ambassador of paper, but I like
so. You are our teacher, not ambassador, right?
This is Bahong watercolor paper, and you can find in 3 different solutions. I mean, cold press, hot, rough, middle grain, and hot press.
Okay.
And in blocks and in roll or sheets. And for some nice stuff, for example, if you want to remove out some paint after you, is easy to remove. And the texture, in generally the art materials is not, if it's good for me, is not necessarily good for you. So we have to try big variation of color, try to touch the paper, to the personal feeling is most important, choosing the materials. The same with the brushes, we have to paint, touch, try different, compare, and only after that follow the personal feeling and choose. So this time is Baong, but don't worry if you don't have Baong on the. Normally I paint with Arch, orange block, so is very similar, but it's because 2 different country, 2 different. I don't want to compare them, but I find both of them interesting, and also Saunders, Waterford, my favorite 3 of these. What I have else, pencil and eraser. This kind of eraser is the best. I mean, the soft one, you know, another kind is good for drawing, but because collecting the fat from your hands sometimes is not good to use. I have some brushes on here, a mop, 2 middle, 1 liner, and 1 for detail, 1 flat synthetic I will use, or maybe not, we will see, and 1 flat, this is squirrel from India, I think, flat. The paints, mostly Daniel Smith, some from St. Petersburg and Mijello, Korean brand. I have also the sponge, is all very important also for me, is a sponge to remove the extra water from your brush. So sometimes when we mix the color, we remove the extra water, because also is one of the important problematic in watercolor, to control the quantity of water and pigment in your brush before you put on the paper. Okay, clean water. So is not water. Everything is important. All the materials also important. Also water. You know what water is the best for watercolor?
Mineral water? No.
Rainwater.
Rain? Oh, really?
Because it's very soft. So sometimes Is if depends how deep we go in, but also water, like for the coffee. Like for the coffee, is very important also the quality of the water and
Okay.
and okay, and this is our material. I think everybody received already the image,
Yeah.
and maybe the biggest part or most of you already make a drawing. But I will, my paper is still white. I will do a fast sketch together with you and trying to explain why and what. So this subject, these boats actually these boats are 500 meters from here. So is the place where I live. Fishermen boats, they go all the night for fishing and come back afternoon. So if looking for the subject, why inspired me? Because I like these lines of the boats is very interesting, the verticals, horizontal lines. But in that day was a nice sky, because everything comes from the light. If the light is, how to say, in this case is a positive light, everything become positive. Sometimes there's no light, no subject. So with the particular and beautiful light, everything become very beautiful. And actually, like every painting has to tell a story about something. This is the story about the light. And to complicate a little bit this story, I'm classical way. I do in the academical painting, very classic, controlling the brush strokes, but this time I would like to explore a little bit more, and my brush. The shapes I use, I want to destroy this a little bit the shape. What I want to say is, when we draw the right shape and the brush strokes don't follow exactly the line of the drawing, when go out of the line, become creative painting. So they, in some place, the paint follow the line, in some place go out. So I would like to, for this reason, I took out from my art materials different brushes I don't use for a long time. So try to experiment with some new strokes, new characters, because it's like speaking, trying to speak in different way on the paper.
Okay.
But this is another piece of paper just to make a sketch. So very simple. If using the composition, the picture is already composed, so not big difference. But we start to cut with the lines, the space, and the main shapes are the sky and the water. And because was the story of the light, I dedicate for the sky a bigger part. So the part from the sky is bigger than the part from for the water. I go out from the symmetry. This is vertical symmetry. So if this shape of the sky is equal of this, they start to compete.
Okay.
So also because in the nature we will never find equal or symmetrical stuff. It's good to always to try to do different character of the brush stroke, different. One is bigger, another smaller, another one is smaller again. Never find the same big, the same intensity of the color, the same variation of the tonal value. Try to find new solution for any moment. So starting with this, I said for the sky a little bit more, but using the golden rules to simplify, if I try to cut in 3 parts, and also 3 parts of this, I have some nice points where this line cross one to another one and become more important. And I connect these golden rules with my subject, and I discover in this point my big boats come and is good displayed. On this line I have 2 important. One is the sky, another one is another boat. So and also the horizon line can go a little bit lower, so it's like this. It's it's like mathematics, is well organized like this. Also in this place can be some small elements. So what happened in this area, especially in these places where the horizon line meet the vertical ones, on the golden rules, for our brain is very easy to read the information. So sometimes if we want to display something, in this case, the picture is already, I took the picture in automatically because I feel this composition. But sometimes no boats there, we will put or we will move some objects in the place where it's easy to read. Like I have the birds flying on the sky, and one is in this point. My brain will read first of all this information and after another one. So it's good to know and use sometimes the composition in the way how we like to do. Another thing is about drawing the boats.
Wow.
Drawing the boats, you know, to have an elegant line. Just a second, I will open my picture. So where is disappear? Okay. Okay. So I will take the boat, the biggest boat we have on the left part, and we will see the big line like this. The sign of infinity helps us to have a very nice and elegant line. The line of the boat. So if we choose how big it is, so from here to here, let's cancel this line because, oh, I will take another one because this is too small. To make you clear, I decide how big is the boat from here to here, and where is the highest part here, where touch the water, around here. So using this point A, B, C, D, we have to connect them, but using the sign of infinity or 8, no, in the horizontal way. So become like this, and not necessarily has to use, we have to use the same proportion. We can do bigger and smaller and bigger, or we can play with this. So using this line, my boat come more elegant. And if this is higher part, I remove this part and just make the line in down, and this is my boat. And I draw on the top only the captain place, the rectangular part, so become very elegant boat.
Oh.
And we can rotate in the opposite part. I mean, if you, it's enough to cancel one part and the boat go in different direction. And sometimes we have a different shape on the point, so we can change this a little bit. But here is an open space. Sometimes you can see. So the sign of 8 really help us to draw the boat. We have another boat also a little bit far away. So another sign of infinity and the line. And it's important to, from this point, to see in which direction is the vertical line, not is angle. Opposite part is another angle. How big is the vertical compared with the horizontal part? Is around like this. So try to, because what happened also in here, the boat maybe can be also like this, or like this, but because it's on the water cancel, and we have horizon line. Depends how close is to us. If it's very close, this line is more on angle. If it's far away, it's because it's more closer to the horizon. This line become completely horizontal because it's far away. It's close to the horizon. If it's closer to us, become more round. So, and let's draw. And during the drawing, I will also explain more details.
Okay.
Okay, so I start with the horizon line, a little bit lower than, and sometimes if we need the straight line, I use the finger along the, to control if it's really horizontal. Okay, it's okay. So
it's a magic. Guys, are you still with us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody amazing. Look at the Igor's hand. Look at his hand.
Because I cannot hear you, but because the microphone is out, but when somebody has to tell or ask something, I'm always ready to answer you. So don't hesitate to. Is a question. Most of you already draw. The drawing is already complete.
Guys, udah gambar belum?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We
Ah,
wait
not
for
yet.
you.
They're waiting for you, Igor.
Okay. It's good like this. So I will go slowly, not only to, but to have you, to have also you. So after I have the biggest, the big shape as the paper is already cut into smaller. One is bigger for the sky and another one for the water. After that, I have another shapes, smaller than this. One is a boat, another one is a group of building on the background.
Okay.
So one is bigger, this group is bigger. Will be nice to have a silhouette of all the group. Only later we can draw the single small detail. So the idea in drawing to draw from the big shape to smaller, not opposite. If you will start with drawing one boat, it's difficult to find all the details you want to draw in. Is difficult. It's like drawing a portrait. We start with a big shape, with the whole head, and only after we find the place for the eyes and the mouth. And the same situation in here. We can do just a simple line like this, and to understand how big is this shape. And after that, we will see also the perspective. The highest building here is a little bit higher than this one to show the perspective. So is already is a line little bit like this, following the perspective to show the building behind are far away, and this are closer to us is a little bit higher. Not necessarily perfect drawing. We will use just a simple line like this. After that, I will concentrate about my big shape of the big boat, and I'll try to discover the highest. Maybe is better if I will use my iPad to show you, because this is my reference. So the highest part, not this one, but the top is a little bit higher than the line of the water. So I have a point where the higher point of the boat, and after approx where my boat touch the water is approx here. Now from the left to the right, I have to find this point. For example, from the left to the right, where how large is, and it's approx 1/3. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have these 4 points. Only after I can start making details. Okay, sorry, I will put back my phone, iPad. Today I'm drawing from iPad.
Okay.
So highest point, and after that, in this shape, I have to devise again the highest part. I speak about this line. Is we have a space between this and this, so it's a little bit lower, no? From here, I have to go a little bit lower. Okay, and it's kind of round. And now try to connect point A, B, C, D, and try to connect them and create this sign of infinity. And you will see from the picture, we have another one parallel. Parallel one. And after that, as I say, from here, from this point, we have to go in this direction. Okay, from this point, I don't know how is in English, but the cabin where the captain is, we have to comparing this shape with the smaller is easy to control how big is, and try to draw this part. Sorry, my English, because something I don't know how to call in.
It's okay. We understand.
In
what
English
you mean.
is important. We can make we can understand each other.
Yes.
So I remove this line, the frontal line, and we have the two shapes meeting together, the right and the left part. If the point is around here, the center, so something like this. After that is like a building, the rectangular part of the boat. We have a frontal part and one lateral wall. So with the windows, and also the windows, not vertical lines, but a little bit inclinated. Okay. Okay. Something like this. So this is smaller than this shape. So smaller again we have in the top. We have this shape. It's kind of triangle place and meet like this, a little bit thinner in the top and larger in this part. And after the vertical line of the antennas and the different radars, the line, I interrupt the line because to be ready to change. If you try to do the perfect line directly, sometimes if you change, it's very difficult to change. But when it's just a gesture, you are always ready to change this line. So become very big, and I don't want to draw completely to finish by pencil my drawing, because I want to give a space to my brush to continue the drawing. So it's important to make the main signs by pencil and to continue by brush later. Okay, so I have other elements, I don't know, a box here, very synthetic and very fast, like calligraphy, like Chinese or Japanese calligraphy, trying to put some signs only in some place can be correct, and another one. So I will come back to the portrait again to say, when we draw is as the portrait. We draw the boats, but is like drawing the portrait. Sometimes the hair is out, sometimes is equal, but the main problematic making the portrait is to capture the spirit of this person through the eye. In this time, don't worry if it's not equal or the hair is like this or like that. We draw kind of portrait, but this time is the boats and the landscape. We try to paint the spirit of the boat, not the the equal
The
both.
perfectionist, the perfect shape. Mhm.
Yeah. So also the sky and with the clouds. Let's capture the spirit of the clouds, the spirit of this light, of this building. Don't worry if you are not exactly as in the picture. Try to concentrate a little bit, so a little bit more in distance, not so precise to focus exactly like this. If it's not like this, is bad drawing. No. Let's fix the problematic very far. So okay, so come back into our table place. So I add a couple of details, and this is the metallic line following in the parallel way. I will do some verticals like this to make you understand what is it. Okay. On the back, I have another element. It's like pyramidal place, has to be symmetric. So when I think about the symmetry, this shape is not natural shape. In the nature, we will not find symmetrical stuff, but when the human create something, we create using the natural shapes, we create the symmetrical thing. So some elements like this, not necessary to draw again all the elements, because I want to continue the drawing by brush. And here I have a figure on the picture, but I don't know, but I don't think I will draw the figure there. And the line of the earth, or how to say, because it's displayed on the on port, so is another element in here, and the line to continue the way to the sea. This is kind of this is a river and a channel going to meet the sea there. So when I draw the big boat, now it's easy to display other boats. In the picture we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, but you can also cancel some of this boat. So 1 and another 2 can be enough, or if we will draw another one, is just a sign, not much. So if this is the horizon line, this is the line where the sky meets the water. So you can see the level of the water of the sea there. But where these boats on the right part touch the water is a little bit lower, is lower than horizon line. So if I will say this is the boat number 1, on the right I have number 2, number 3, number 4. So number 2 is higher than number 1, but lower than number 3. So the point where touch the water. And maybe the highest point will be very close to the horizon line of the horizon. I don't cancel the horizon, just to compare. Horizon line is a kind of guide. I always try to guide myself using horizon line. And here the same. I have to see highest point, lower point, and after that compare this shape in the vertical with how, if this is one time, maybe in this way, and this is double. In this way, in the horizontal way, maybe can be double. And the same structure or similar have what they saw is I will draw again this sign of infinity, remove one of this line, can be also a little bit more pointed. And after that, I will do another one, parallel, and that's it. And the following the line I draw before. Only later, small element, we have the rooms there, or the different spaces for the fish, or the captain place, the spaces where the frigo space for the fish. Okay, and only later I can add the smaller elements. I see the red ball there. It's good to use in different direction these elements, inclinated in different direction, because become more dynamic. So again, using the symmetry, you can do a line, vertical line, and after it, just, and as I say, we will try to be not super perfect, to try to enjoy a little bit more abstract shapes, but also has to be nice calligraphic. So it's good to compare the calligraphy to the new style of drawing. Another one, again. And important also, this part of the boat in the front is larger than the place on the back. This is a little bit more smaller. So when we have 2, 3 different one, I have to find also different solution from them, not copy the same boat, only different size. So sometimes I will draw a little bit more simple shape. Also because on the picture, as you see, we have a sail here. Sailing boat is different shape from other boats. So we can display this, the shape of this boat is really more simple. And maybe is a good idea to have a line of the sail on 1/3 can be. And this is actually the highest point. And just a couple of signs, because if I will draw now the line of the all the lines, the thinner lines with, after that, I have to repeat the same line with the by brush and become maybe very big. So it's better to draw just a little, only the trunk, the most important line. So I have my birds speaking too.
Is that a parrot?
Sorry?
He want to teach also.
Yeah, well, no, they speak when somebody else speaks. We like discuss. Yeah. Okay. So can be another one on the back, the triangle like this, and that's it. And now I would like to. I understand you need actually more time to draw this. Take your time and tell me.
Igor,
Yes,
can
please.
we have the picture of your sketch right now and then send to the group so we can see
Okay.
more clearly?
Take a picture. Okay.
Okay, I will do. Maybe it's not finished, but I will do also the background, and after we'll send another one. So okay, so sending to the group. The right group, yes. So you have in the group the.
Okay. Thank you, Igor.
Yes, and let's concentrate a bit on the on the line, the skyline, or the line on the back. I call this place like decoration. So if we divide in 3 levels of deepness, the big boat we have in the front is the number 1, very close to us. The second layer is where his other boat is, and the third one is far away, so behind of this boat. It's better to have a nice line, character of line, but generalize and make everything in one shape, not trying to make a puzzle and divide in small elements. It's better to unify. In this way, other elements, you can see the small elements. It's like in your dress, you have a flower or full of flowers. It's difficult to see the single flower. If you have an empty space and you have a drawing of one flower, you can see the flower. So it's good to generalize and remove the details behind. So less details to show better what is important to show. So I will draw the roofs of the houses, following the line I drew before, but not much details. Only it's better to have nice rhythm following in the horizontal way. This is most important, to have a rhythm. Maybe the small vertical things, and after lose empty and busy space. Sometimes the long with nothing, long line, and after that busy space with there is an hotel there, but simplifying. And after we will try to destroy also. I will show you later how to continuing the line. A couple, maybe just a suggestion of the windows in some place. And actually, that's it. It's good to control again everything. Maybe I will do a little bit larger the boat in here, because mine is very thin. I will add an element in here. Some line to fix the boat on this. I will repeat this element in here. Normally, never draw the clouds or the sun or the reflection, because the water, to show the transparency, if you draw, you already have like the shape is better to control, to have a soft, because the water can move the pigment in different direction. So also the reflection can be moved from one place to another one. So it's better to draw by brush, not by pencil. Otherwise, we have to follow exactly place to display the cloud or something else. We have a couple of trees or some traffic spots of light, and the line of where the road or this channel touch the water. And that's it. I will take another picture again and send to the group, and the drawing is finished. Okay. Don't worry if we don't draw some elements. Simplifying is good, because when we start painting, we can continue our drawing by brush. If we have a liner or the brush for the detail. With your permission, I will smoke a cigarette. 2 minutes. I'm out.
Sure. We will finish the drawing.
Yes, if you have somebody have a question, already draw and need a suggestion, I'm here to. You send me. Anyway, I want to tell you. The last time I think I didn't. I was busy the last workshop, but in the end of this lesson, send me your results. I mean, we can wait also 2 days more to have all the time to complete this painting, or maybe have another version of the same. And send to the group, and I will reply with my comments with the video.
Okay.
I will do a video with the comments.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Igor. Dia ngerokok, kalian jangan ikut ngerokok ya.
Oke, Mam.
Siap, Mami. Oke, Mom.
Kamu ikut ngerokok juga ya? Gak susah loh drawingnya.
Aku off cam dulu, bentar lagi aku udah selesai drawingnya. Jadi aku off cam.
Bagaimana Igor?
Mom, yang kemarin yang
Dia detail banget jelasinnya. Jadi setiap katanya dia itu bermanfaat amat sangat. Lebih banyak filosofi dibanding dia bicara tuh lebih banyak filosofi yang dia alamin gitu. Jadi coba didengerin deh, manfaatnya banyak.
lumayan banget. Seneng ngikutin dia.
Oke.
Jadi ngerti
Mas Iqbal. Bosen yang lihat muka gue tiap hari ya. Mas Doni juga. 4L lu lagi katanya.
Mbak nanti dapat rekamannya kan Mbak, langsung dapat apa itu? Mau ngulang lagi soalnya dapat ya?
Kalau ini kayaknya mereka berdua sangat sibuk sehingga jadi kalau mau kirimin kalau mau minta ada feedback, kirimin aja ke grup. Nanti aku telepon ke another line. Dia bakal compile semuanya, terus nanti ini pakai video. Misalnya si Kristi kurang ini, si apa kurang ini kayak gitu.
Pengen nonton video yang kemarin gitu Mbak, biar bisa ngulang lagi gitu.
Yang mana nih?
Yang kemarin pas Ekaterina sama
Ekaterina, iya. Nanti
videonya.
Nanti dikirim. Tapi dengan satu pesan ya, saya juga pesannya dia. Sorry, Natalie. I will send it to you, or I will send it to the group once again. Sorry, Mbak siapa tadi? Mbak Kristi, kenapa?
Rekaman video yang kemarin.
Thank you.
Yeah, most welcome. Tunggu. Ya, siapa Ekaterina punya video kan? Video rekaman kan? Iya enggak? Mbak Kristi?
Iya, Mam.
Iya.
Biar kita ulang karena kemarin kan sambil dengerin terus sambil ngerjain. Jadi kadang-kadang suka ada yang nggak lihat gitu. Pengen lihat kayak gitu.
Mas Iqbal udah diajak Mas Iqbal sama Mas Doni.
Mas Iqbal, Mas Doni mungkin udah selesai kali ya.
Kok mungkin dia udah upload udah di Insta story bagus banget.
Tapi ngaco itu.
Jadi gini, dua-duanya tuh pokoknya light shade dan tonalnya oke. Ya sih nggak perlu itu. Nah, kalau udah kayak Mas Doni, Mas Iqbal, itu kayak udah tutup mata aja sih. Mas Elvin kayak ting jadi.
Funny language. It's like playing some instrument. Ting tong ting.
Ting, yeah. Something like when we say it's very simple, we said ting, something like magic.
Tada.
Tada, okay, yeah, tada.
I think it's the same when we hear you and Ekaterina talking Italian. Maybe we cannot understand too, and then we will ting like that.
Yeah.
Confusing, and tada, it will be masked.
Yeah. Okay. So, how you proceed with the drawing is
Okay, sampai mana?
Already done.
Already?
Yes.
All of you or only Christy? Dan
Somebody has to, if somebody is ready, you can send some.
ya, sudah
We can see maybe in the detail if.
Oh wow, everybody.
Especially in this case, we don't need too much. Where sometimes it's like time for painting. It's important to make. This is a message we send on the paper, no?
Yeah.
If you think you already had you send the idea, don't need to add too many details, because the message already is arrived. So I have I don't know,
Christy. Yes, the first one.
Yeah. To see if but I don't know if you can see. Maybe not.
It's okay.
Kelihatan nggak? Can you see
Yes,
Igor?
I can see.
Okay. So here, maybe in here, be careful with this line. The back part is not so long like the frontal one.
Okay.
So if you will continue with this line of the earth, you will cut the back part. So to show this is the frontal part is bigger than the part on the back. So the drawing is okay. Try to be not super connected only in one line. Sometimes interrupt the line and add just the symbols. It's like speaking. Blah blah, and try to do this stuff also in the drawing, not complete all the
finish.
but sometimes it's a gesture, a point, continue like this, but it's okay. And also I need the line of the water just to see on the back part where is the horizon line, you know. Is a little bit higher than the place where this boat touch the ground, the water. And actually the boat number 3 has to touch the water a little bit lower. Okay, we will see.
Thank you, Igor.
The next one.
And Tiara.
Yeah.
The second one, Tiara.
Is okay. Yes, it's not bad. Very good. Don't be very rigid with the line. I don't know. Maybe in here. With the line from the boat, very straight. Is connected with this small element, but a little bit more, not straight line, but
shape.
A different shape of the, because it is competing with another straight line. And also important, use the soft drawing for the elements in the back, and be a little bit more stronger for the element in the front. So the intention of the line a little bit more stronger, because after painting, if the drawing is very soft, we will lose the drawing, and it's will be difficult to see where where and what element is, but in general is okay.
Okay.
After Tanya,
Tiara, and then
sorry,
Putih.
Prativi, Tanya Prativi,
No, Putih.
Putih.
Yes. After Tiara, and then Putih. Do you have it?
In the list I received the painting. I have the next one is this one, and this is from Tanya.
Okay then.
So okay, so general shape is okay. Maybe press attention only for the horizontal elements on this boat to be most horizontal, not inclinated. Just a small details like this, but I think is good. And you also the same. Your line is more stronger in the back than in the front. Try to use opposite. The line in the front is a little bit more stronger, more darker than the line we will use. So we will use less intensity when we will draw the line on the back, but the rest is okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Igor.
This I have Amida. Sorry if I will read not correct your name.
Adriana. No. Oh, Iqbal. Yeah, Iqbal Amirda. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Guys, please write your name on the yeah, because
okay, maybe sending the picture with the name, because I have not registered all your name. Yes, also here, very nice. The single, I have this shape and this one. I understand this one shape altogether, but like the highest part of this one is similar to this, so they start to compete one with another one. This one, because it's far away, we have to reduce a little bit, or another one has to be a little bit more bigger. This building is bigger, but I think it's better to reduce a little bit lower the line of the building behind, because this is very far.
Yes. Okay, thank you. I get point. Thank you.
Yeah. After that, I have Zoraida.
Zora. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The level of this boat and the level of another boat, these two small boats, is very big difference between one to another one in the vertical way. Has to be very close one to another one. So the position of this where I touch the water is okay, but for this one, the smaller one, has to be a little bit lower to show the water, because the water is completely horizontal. And especially when it's far away, the level, if you see the picture, is similar to be in the same line. But here is too big the difference. The sign of 8 you use in here is okay, but a little bit more flat. I will show you in this way. Not so round, is more flat. You understand?
Yeah.
The distance between these points, not so big, a little bit more flat. In this way, in the front can be like this, but I speak about the place on the back to reduce a little bit this. And
okay.
And again, this line of the earth, from this angle, we have to display a little bit more flat.
Yeah.
little bit more flat. So more horizontal. From this angle to reduce a bit like this.
Okay,
You can
Igor.
also touch the ground even here. So
Yeah.
don't worry if you is exactly, but it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Putty, if it's correct, putty.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, sorry. In your case also, little bit more strong for the boats you have in the front, because it's beautiful the boats you draw on the back, but the line is stronger. So to show the deepness, we start to show how from the drawing we start to show the deepness. So has to be opposite. The line you have in the front is a little bit more stronger, so you make more pressure.
Okay.
So from the distance, light, little bit more stronger, and when you come to the front, it is darker. So we start to show this. Maybe it will be nice to continue with the line of the boat in here, going meet the sign of 8. I miss on the back. I understand in the picture you have not much detail, but try to on this. You draw this line, but I cannot see this part. Just a bit here. Okay, and be careful with this shape. Completely horizontal, this line, and here is a kind of triangle, and only later become a little bit more softer. And again, thinner here and larger here and thinner here, and symmetric, because in your case is not symmetric. Is like
I understand.
Yeah. And you see in the top of this boat you have this line. Now is the small element, but is small element here, and this is a little bit bigger, not opposite. You know, just press attention, not opposite. Normally we start from the smaller, bigger and bigger and bigger, but in this case, if you look at the picture, is opposite.
Okay.
Yes, and can be. For the background, oops, the line of the background, little bit more interesting, not so flat. What you draw is, I will try to replay your drawing. Like this, and that's it. Try to make this rhythm a little bit more stronger. What I mean is to go a little bit down, come back, to make an element have ups and down, especially in here, to show the roof of this building. We go down, and after a small element, and continue with the straight line. A little bit more higher in interesting rhythm. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I have Andriana. I have Andriana. Okay.
Sounds like Italy.
Yes. Yes. What I have here is this line of this boat. This line has to be a little bit more inside, not so straight, a little bit more curve and more going into the center of the boat, not so straight, to show more elegant boat. And the same situation also for you, Andriana. about this drawing, especially in this area. Try to play a little bit with these rhythms nicely, and maybe adding small elements in your drawing is here. Just adding a couple of, because these vertical points is a connection with the sky. The earth meet the sky, and if it's flat, we will separate the sky from the earth. But with the vertical elements, sometimes is the line of the boat, sometimes is the chimney for or some other elements, the traffic lights. This is our connection. It's good to have these elements like this. And yeah, can be also good. What we have next is Shirley. Shirley.
Yes.
Okay. In your case, press attention about lines. When we say, if I will say this is one line is mama, another one mia, mama mia, we say. But in your case, you try to make twice, 3 times mama and 3, 4 times mia in the sum of so you will say mama, mama, me. You try to speak with the one line. Okay. But and another thing what I see here about the verticals, when you I see the house there is not vertical, but you use different angles, so crashing down like Pisa Tower, especially in the back, and also the line of the boat. Be careful with the verticals. Sometimes you can follow by finger, using the finger along the board. You can make the vertical lines. Other way, our brain sometimes make us some mistakes, and we cannot see, but it's not vertical. A good exercise is to show on the mirror your drawing, and you easily can see if it's vertical or not, and you can see that some mistakes. Okay. The next one is
Elvin.
Elvin. Elvin.
Yes.
Okay. Elvin, yes. Nice drawing. A little bit too much information. When I speak about the vertical, as I say, like drawing the tree. We can draw only the trunk and suggest a couple of the lines, not all. So don't be super descriptive. Especially when we speak about the boats in the back. A little bit less information, but I see the construction line is a lot of information, is nice drawing. Yes, not much to say. It's okay, it's okay. Maybe in the back here on the main boat, the pyramidal shape is a little bit higher than the frontal one, but can be also like this, no worry. Yeah. It's
okay.
And I have the last one. This Alvin was the last one in the group.
Yes.
We have to continue. Anyway, I will reply to you in in the end, because I am worrying to lose the time.
Yes.
Because till now we have only the sketch.
Yes.
So what we trying to do here is not exactly to make you to do a painting as mine. This is the good example also. No, this is the way Igor do, and I want to show my way of painting. But in the same time, never forget about yourself. So I want to guide you to show the way I do, but remember, don't forget about yourself. So you have to listen yourself. In some place you have to agree with me, and some place not. So thinking for the next step about painting, everything is one process. For this reason, I don't finish my drawing to leave a space to the brush to continue my drawing. In this way, from A to Z, I have one process. And as I told you before, I want to send a message about this light, and in the parallel way to have no perfect but more abstract in something. So for me is important also the brush strokes I will use to be a little bit more free. Is not completely flat. I have something under my border, so my angle is small, but I have an angle to give a possibility to the water to following the natural direction. So my reflection now is this: I have to start. I know the rules of in watercolor is from the light to the dark. So I understand the lightest part of my painting is the sky and the reflection in water. Thinking about these two shapes, concentrated in this, I have another reflection. If the sky, to have no competition between these two spaces, one has to be maybe lighter, another one a little bit darker. One has to be warmer and another one a little bit more cooler. So to have difference, contrast between them. So let's start and think about the color on the sky. I have a couple of worms, can be yellow or maple yellow or cadmium yellow, a bit of orange. I will paint the sky. I will start with the big space, with the sky, and I will do. I want to tell you in advance to be ready, no? And when I will start, leave me maybe 1 minute to be in the front of you, enjoy a small demonstration. Only after that is better to start painting, because you will lose some. So I will start with the lightest part. The lightest part actually is the sun. And in the sun around, so is light and also warm. From this part, this warm is more cooler and cooler. So I will start with the mop and trying to paint with more water and pigment. And I will not do a perfect round for the sun, but try to have a light space around the source of light. Other parts can be I will use more water, but for the sun, I don't want a regular shape. After, I will start to add. This is the opera rose, mixing with the yellow, cadmium yellow. So try to be a little bit more orange, especially in the lower part, like this. And from this one, I have to go to be cooler a bit. So now is a cobalt blue, but very light. So in the top, I want to mix this color, one with another one. And in some places, a little bit more stronger. For example, far away, exactly from here, is a little bit more bluish. Closer is a mixture between orange and blue. I can come back to the orange, yellow again here, closer to the horizon, but now is a mixture between warmth and cold together. They have to mix and play in harmony. And on the horizon line, I will stop. So this is the first wash for the sky. The next will be the clouds. So now you can paint also. Something not only cobalt. I would like to add a bit of turquoise light in to have different variation of the.
Igor, what's the mixture of the cobalt for the darker side?
So I have a orange,
Yeah.
cadmium orange around, cadmium yellow, sorry, cadmium yellow. And after I add a bit of orange, and I start adding a bit of cobalt blue, very light with a lot of water, so it's cobalt blue. And in this part, I add a bit of turquoise light,
Okay.
or cobalt with the turquoise.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. But because start drying, we have to be more faster because we need also the water help us to develop the shapes. So I can take the last color I use here, a little bit of cobalt and turquoise light, maybe a touch of orange. So cobalt, a touch of orange and turquoise to have a middle tone, a little bit for the cloud, the dark part of the cloud, especially in this big cloud, because it's far away from the sun, is cooler color. And try to think about also the shape. Play with the shape in abstract mode, but don't forget about the shape of the cloud. If it's too vertical, is not okay. It has to be a little bit more horizontal to display in the right way. And if I will start to come closer, it has to be more warmer. So this color, I will add a bit of orange. So now I will try to add more clouds closer to the sun, but warmer. Closer again, warmer again, is more orange. And so you can see now the transition between warmer and cool color. With the touch of red in the cobalt, I have a similar color, but a bit different, because it's not good to use the same colors for the different one. So I will try to add another clouds here, and even if it's wet, to create a shape of the cloud more in distance, more cooler is. Now my cloud, in generally I did the cloud, but I want to come back for the color of the sky, and this is the ceruleum. Ceruleum, light ceruleum, the ceruleum color. Maybe I add a bit of cobalt in. Ceruleum and cobalt together, and I will go around of the clouds, leaving at the white border. I will show you. So going around, so I will cover the big part of the sky, leaving only the white border around the cloud. Okay. Maybe the brush is too small, a little bit bigger to cover more space. So ceruleum and cobalt I used. Leaving, I add, because also I will use not the same color, I add a bit of opera, and this cloud I leave a white space, and around paint the color of the sky. So what happened now? I have a border, white border. When I go lower, just water and connect with the water. I want the water also participating in the painting. So it's good to paint. Don't leave the paper dry, because drying fast, and because it's the story of light, we don't have to lose the light. And for example, in here, because I leave a white space, I want to connect and show the light come from this direction. So I will try to wash out from the white a bit by brush with a clean water, remove the water after adding the, and remove to have directional light from the sky. Here, the color of the sky and the color of the cloud is the same tonality. So I had to come back to the cloud to make darker. Can be also ceruleum and opera. If we will mix together, this kind of gray violet. And I want to add a little bit more darker. And a good one we used before is the cobalt turquoise, maybe a touch of red. More turquoise far away because it's cooler. So it come back to just to make darker. And closer to the sky or the source of light is warmer. So adding a bit of orange in the mixture. Because it's wet, always try to use the sponge and touch the sponge or a piece of paper to control and to understand how much water you have in your brush. Now, the brush strokes start drying in some places. Every painting reacts differently, and we have to control when start drying if I like the character when it's completely dry. Other way, it's possible to continue in some direction, using different brush strokes to continue the line. For example, I like the verticality and horizontality. So I can do something in the vertical way. Also, the brush can be changed in the flat one in this way if I will press. So just to have new character of the brush strokes than I normally use. Just want to be different than me yesterday, or you know. And control again, because start drying, and if is enough dark, for example, the cloud we have in the front of the sky is not enough dark, can be a little bit more darker and a bit warmer, because the light through the light become a little bit more warmer. So I will do a little bit more stronger warmer here. And we can also create another brush by tissue paper. For example, I will wet a bit the paper and create a brush, and we can remove the paint around a cloud. to have light there. That has to be clean.
Oh, wow.
Okay. In some places, but already dry. In some places, it's possible to wash out with the sponge, natural sponge. If we will wet the sponge or clean the sponge, has to be clean, wet, without water, no drops, because sometimes when it's wet, we leave some drops and create a mistakes there. And it's possible to do again the directional lights. But has to be clean, otherwise it's become dirty. Yeah, something like this. And this light also reflect. If we analyze the picture from where we paint, we have connection with the light cloud in the top here. Sometimes with the synthetic brush, it's possible to remove when it's still not super dry. It's possible to remove a bit and draw the light around the cloud. Okay. Let's continue in down. Here, the situation is a little bit different. I understand it don't have to be so warm like in the top to have different, but I will leave only on this line a bit of light only on this way. In this part a little bit more gray, and also using the roughness of the paper. How? Again, the mop. The intensity of yellow will be not so intense, is a little bit more light. So I will take the color and after remove from the sponge and try to make horizontal touches, to leave some white of the paper. My brush now is flat, so when I touch the paper, become more flat lines. Sometimes also some line more stronger. So leaving the white only in this has to be a little bit more dark in left or in the right. So I will use what I have, some grays in my palette. Can be also a bit of cobalt. So using on this part, I will leave lighter, but other parts I can completely cover. So now I connect the highest part with this, if it's not completely dry. But careful about the brush strokes to make interesting. What I want to maybe in this way you can see better, to leave some casual whites using the roughness of the paper. Other way is possible to, and I would like to experiment also how, when it's still like this, some drops, for example, the same colors I used, some drops, but in this way, in horizontal way, not like this. From how I can show, maybe with another camera. So when I do the drops in the vertical way, the drop is round. When I do in this way, the drop is longer. So making some drops in a horizontal way. And because it has to be a little bit more cooler, as I say, cobalt, maybe a touch of red or opera with the cobalt, become more blue-violet. So, because when it's still wet, I can add a bit of cooler color. Can be also turquoise light. When it's still wet, trying to mix, gently mix. So the same palette I have here, I will transfer, because this is also kind of mirror what happened in the, and to show this is lighter part, I have to be bit darker around. Okay, now the part of the boat I have to completely cover, because I have no light, no white of the paper. So I will prefer completely to have a turquoise light. I will cover all the boat completely. Also with the sea behind, completely covered with this color. This is opposites also. I think also about opposites color when I mix the color. What color to use? If I use kind of orange and yellows, I need opposites color. Or this is orange browns like this. Opposite color on the color circle is blues and the green, turquoise, not green. So playing with the opposites. I will do a part of warmer part and a part of cooler. And come back to the warm because it's illuminated. So add a touches of warmer color. But this one can be completely covered by Now, this color cannot be alone. I have to add or reply somewhere because it's still a bit open, still wet. I will propose also covering this both with a similar color, but not the same. So I will add a bit of red in to have a similar color for another boat. Another one can be more red than blue. For example, adding more red opera become more violet. After this wash, we have to dry a bit. Dry with the hair dryer. So take your time to cover and trying to what is important when the pigment still moving, still doing something, is better to not stop the process. If you see the process is already stopped, so we can dry with the hair dryer. Other way is like something in life, and you cannot kill this life. You know, the life is in movement. Okay, I will. 1 minute. I have to see my hair dryer. Also,
Okay.
stop the audio.
Gang, how is it? Are you okay?
Susah.
Mbak Iren.
Mam, aku harus pulang ke rumah dulu, jadi aku dengerin sambil di mobil dulu ya. Besok
Oke,
kita
dah.
coba. Kita coba, tapi dengerin kok.
Oke. Putih udah selesai nih kayaknya.
Belum, Mam, susah.
Kalau gampang, gak usah ikut workshop, belajar sendiri. Nonton tuh YouTube gratis. Belajar sama Om ini karena susah. Ya enggak?
Betul. Menarik sih, cuman lemes.
Bagus banget sih ilmunya dan detail
Karena
banget.
Iya,
Jelasin.
karena cepet soalnya web.
Terkuanya apa ya?
Torqua DS kayaknya dia.
Iya ya.
Kayaknya dia banyak kan DS.
I will
Sebenarnya dia
leave
banyak kan Mijel.
to dry a bit. So after this,
Okay.
we will dry a bit. So to not make a noise, I will close the audio and.
Udah ditutup. Gue baru mau suruh foto. Mbak Iren.
Itu padahal ngerokok lagi loh itu.
Iya kayaknya sambil. Dia kan memang ini ahli hisap.
Cocok sama Mas Dipo nih.
Iya. Wah, bakal nggak selesai
Emang
gitu
ada Mas
kalau
Dipo di sini?
Bisa bareng sama Mas Dipo dia ngerokok. Mbak Iren, apa kabar Mbak Iren?
Baik.
Udah
lama nggak
Iya.
Terkuanya itu bagus deh. Ini enggak.
Daniel Smith.
Ukurannya enggak. Oke. Smith.
Mbak, kalau nggak punya cerulean, gantinya apa ya? Mirip kayak gitu birunya.
Cerulean, cobalt,
Cobalt ada.
mirip. Ya, cerulean
aja
mirip
ya?
cobalt.
Sama lavender.
Ada campuran
Sama
cobalt.
lavender, yes.
Oke. Kalau campuran cobalt sama cerulean, jadi aku campurnya sama lavender.
Lavender atau horizon blue.
Nggak punya juga.
Horizon blue itu apa?
Nggak punya. Lavender.
Horizon blue dari Holbein.
Oh, oke.
Belanja lagi, Kristi.
Nggak mau, udah cukup. No.
Koleksi.
Kurang.
Nggak mau, udah cobalt aja makanya. Campur itu bisa kan lavender ya? Lavender
Bisa.
aja. Nggak perlu kan cerulean. Aku jarang pakai biru.
Mas Seto akhirnya bisa masuk.
Lama banget Mas itu masuknya.
Buat awannya aja udah menyedihkan, gimana nanti.
Bisa.
Awannya aja udah nyerah.
Foto aja. Igor.
How is going? I confuse you a lot, eh?
Yes. Can you take a picture and then send us to the group?
I think I already done, but I will do another one because
Okay then. Okay.
no, he's already in the group, but I will now.
See. Thank you. Yeah.
So, what I want to say is, I will send the picture. In the horizontal. Yeah. I dry because now it's possible to add a bit of masking fluid if you use. For example, normally we used to put a bit of masking fluid for the people who used to do it on the white paper. But I want to show you and suggest not only on the white, but even if it's already painted, because in this way the character of the white or the light place the masking fluid leave is different tonality. So how I normally use or directly from the bottle if I need straight lines like this, but I understand we have all different, or maybe not all of you have a masking actually. I will do this time by brush, a small synthetic brush, and I will do a small container. Maybe another lesson we had before, I did the same. I don't remember.
I think
Yeah.
Yes.
So I had a small container in here, and I will add a bit of masking. But if you are at home, I think you have all the material. It's possible also to, it's not necessary to use. I prefer also in this case, but it's possible to scratch a little bit on the final, or with the kind of knife or with the credit card is possible to remove after paint, remove some white. Is many possibility, or to use with the pencil, fat pencil. This is a kind of white I have in here, and when I draw, because it's fat, the water will not cover. But one of the solution I normally do, I add the soap. I soap my brush with a bit of water, small brush. In this way, it's possible, easy to clean your brush after using the masking. And I use like this. Or another solution can be another brush. You, with the knife, you just, how to say, prepare a wooden brush like this, and use directly as a brush. So where, if you will see the picture, you will see some white or light places, for example, in this line of this boat, and especially in all the places where the light come and illuminate the place. For example, in here, yes, some lines, more detailed than just the small details. Can be the line of the boat, this line we paint, we draw. Can be the line of this metallic stuff on the boat. Okay. Not much, but some details where the illuminated part, the top of the illuminated parts. Okay, maybe line of another boat. Some roof also along the street. Actually, not much. Just a couple of elements. Okay, and that's it. Also, this element can be covered to park the boat, to have a line of the light in the top. Maybe to show the line of the street. If somebody want to sign, you can also sign by masking fluid, and after covering everything, remove the masking, and you have already signed picture. So now has to dry just a bit, and we can continue with another shape to cover. So the next step is from the background, the big shape on the background. And I will be a bit, how to say, a little bit more abstract in this. So to be more abstract, I will choose a flat brush, and trying to, can be also the calligraphic one, because you use the calligraphic brush, but I will use more flat. So like open a bit to use a flat brush to make shape in the vertical and horizontal shapes. And for the background has to be light in the area and very warm in the area of sun. In this part of this building, I will go for the cooler color, and trying to go around the light. For example, we have a boat. You will see step by step. I will show you what I do. So now I will have to prepare first the color. So the color can be maybe burnt sienna. If I have to tell in one color, can be also burnt sienna. Yeah, can be a good color. And the mixture in some place is lighter and some place is darker. In the place where is darker, especially close to the boat or around the boat, is a little bit more darker. Here the border is a bit more lighter, lower, a little bit more darker. When is darker, we will mix with the ultramarine a bit. So mixing sienna with ultramarine, you have a darker result. So starting, leave me to make some brush strokes. I use the flat because in some place, maybe I will zoom a bit in this way. Oops, sorry. You will see in better detail. Now I will go out a bit from my drawing to have a character of the abstract. And using the shape of the houses. Not always the same. Can be burnt sienna with a bit of red. But I have to be careful with the line of the boat. So in negative, I will leave some light. Okay. So the boat is like this, and some dry brush strokes to leave some not very clear, because also is in distance. Can be a little bit more bluish or maybe lavender also in the distance. So playing with the warmth and cooler color in the same time, trying to leave the casual whites. So it's a game between warmth and cool colors. And stronger, I mean darker, where I touch the water. And we have to look and see what happened on the paper. I need darker, use darker. So also to focalize, but I don't want to focalize in here on the border because I need to display. This is like a main stage on the theater. And on the main stage, I have most of the contrast and illuminated you can see this is my actors on the stage, the both playing, no? So for this reason, I try to make more contrast in this place. And I will try to go around of the boats. In the same way, but changing for example, for lavender from bluish color. I will draw the buildings here, following the line in some place. In some place, just go out from the line to be, as I say, a little bit more creative in, for example, here can be also nice game with the lavender. And now the masking I put maybe help me. It's a kind of gray, so I go around of my boat. Okay, and because I put the turquoise light in here, where this shape touch the water, very close to the water, has to be darker. So I will use the darker turquoise. And when I want really much darker, I mix with a bit of red, can be alizarin crimson, with the turquoise go very well. With the light turquoise and turquoise mixing two opposite colors also make a nice. So what I'm trying to show here, the brush strokes and leaving a casual whites in the nice directional position, some verticals and horizontal, horizontal, yeah. And come back for some darks also in here, showing now roofs, or if you look at the picture, we have a lot of elements, trees, another roofs. So we can, if it's still a bit wet, we can still play with these elements. And in some place, you can add more detail. But most of this, and not so dark in the top, most of this lower. Lower. So what I have, turquoise and dark. Because start drawing, I have to reply in the geometrical way the building, the constructions, to show not the exactly shape of the building, but the spirit of the building. And it's like in geometrical playing, if your paper is also rough, it's nice to explore and use this roughness to make some signs. Especially, as I said, in the area where touch the water has to be darker. In this area is more turquoise, so I will use the green to make a sign like this. But also for the box, this green and turquoise light, maybe a bit of lavender, I don't know. I will follow now, leaving, because this boat is illuminated only on this part, and here go into the dark. I will use the line of the boat and darker on the right part and lighter in the opposite. So this part is darker. And leave a little bit more lighter in the opposite part. Around, as I say, a little bit more darker. Can be the windows inside can be darker. So now I start to make a bit of details, but something more precise, something just a touch of. Okay, is very silent, so I hope everything okay.
Everybody is so focusing on the
yeah, very good. Very good.
to follow your pace.
What I propose here is a playing with the shapes, and try to, you know, to play with this shape and add just not completely words, but only a sign, a touch. Also small element, dark elements in the boat, like this, a line. For another boat can be, again, can be lighter, and we will use only 2 lines like this. The brush for the detail, and you can add more windows or inscription or another. Okay, start drying in the higher part, and now is we have to decide what is lighter and what is darker. For example, the roof can be a bit of red, or not pure red, but a mixture. So using the direction and again the brush strokes we used here, we can do a sign of the roof. Some to play with pure colors, some other touch of the colors we used before, but we try to decide also what is lighter and what is darker. Some part, for example, in this area has to be darker if I analyze the picture, but in the same time, small element, vertical elements, and other roofs. And I leave some place lighter because cannot be all the area. Every time is playing warm, cool, darker, lighter, darker again. So it's a game of contrasts. To show something lighter, I have to go darker around. With the brush for the details, because it's still wet. Do some signs. But also in the water, it's possible to replay not the classical reflection, but for example, I use here, in this area, I use the turquoise. Why not this turquoise to replay also in vertical way? And like this, just a brush stroke, free brush stroke in the vertical way. Okay. For example, to show to illuminated part of the boat, I will go darker on the left part and continue the brush stroke like this. And also something in a horizontal way. Especially the empty places will be nice, because this is the light boat. I leave the reflection light, so this kind of same stuff I will leave like this. I mean, I will do darker around, not in the and also in the horizontal way. This is the verticals. It's possible to replay also with the liner some. For example, the liner not draw only the lines. You can put only to do a, because the paper is rough. I can just, I don't know how is in English, only to put the brush like this.
Okay.
Not necessarily to draw something.
To touch?
To touch, sorry. Yeah. Just a touch. But not in the vertical way, in horizontal. And this touch leave interesting sign. And if I have something in the vertical like this, something can be also longer, shorter. Why not? I can continue this touch in a vertical way. So I have another shape, even if I don't have in a picture. In a picture. Come back for the details on the roofs, for example. In some place is a little bit darker. Some of the window, maybe not all the window, but some line. One is all the window, another one only the line like this, to show some new signs there. Here, a dark window on this part. After that, with the liner, but kind of gray violet, can be lavender, dirty lavender. Make a signs of the construction we did on the boat. This vertical lines, so some details of the boat. Okay. Also a red touch. Okay. For example, one of nice secret exercise can be in the dark. I have this shape is lighter, but for example, a sailing boat, I can do lighter, exporting the color. How? Using the tape. For example, I will do a triangle I need. And with the sponge, with the wet sponge, it's possible to exporting a bit the color. So we have impression of a sailing boat.
Oh, wow.
There. Also, in some place, if you want to remove a line of the roofs or something in a different direction, it's possible to do something like this. Okay. Or maybe the line, for example, I didn't mask, no? I need a line, a straight line, for example, not a triangle, but just a simple vertical line of the boat or some construction. Just leave like this, and very simple is possible to make signs to clean like this. And also for this boat, now I cannot really see what is the part, darker part and lighter part. If using the masking along the drawing, I can wash a bit out the illuminated part. You see, now you see the dark and the light. Okay, now in the same way we move to this part, to the main, the big boat. Now is a mixture of grays, mixture of
The kids.
Yes, my kids, they is a time for sleeping, but they don't want to sleep. After the lunch, they have to sleep, but this time, no sleep. So try to replay and see what is lighter and what is darker. For example, in this area here, again, I will use a piece of tape to wash out the reflection from the water on the boat. For example, here, you will see now, like this, is not very light, but is a bit of light in reflected light on the boat. Okay. Also, this part. Okay. So this illuminated part. After that, I have to play with the blues and the greens. So I will leave the space for the earth lighter, and I will go darker around, trying to use the shape of the boat, and to arrive. So the on the limit between the light and shadow of the boat, on the limit is more darker. So I has to be stronger. The limit's a little bit more darker. So I mix turquoise and alizarin crimson a touch, and try to see the shape of the boat. And after that, just soft transition. So on the limit, as I say, a little bit more stronger. Okay. From the top, I will cover, but leaving the light inside of the boat. So something is darker, the roof darker, leaving just a line of the light in the top. Maybe with the detail brush is better. Leaving some white between the windows in negative. Other part. If I use one color from one part, from another one, I just know is darker. Okay, I have some darker elements behind the boat. Using the liner, I will add more details. For example, these cables in one touch. Elements like this. I use a mixture, a gray, mixing the colors on the palette, so nothing in particular. Okay. Abstract painting, you see the object, but don't necessarily is already you have a drawing, so can be a shape, not very. What happened if in this case of light, if the sun illuminates something, this object have also color, but in the opposite, when you have the sun behind of the object lose, so it's a kind of gray. Now is not strong color, not pure color, but playing with the grays, different grays. Only in the part of the light we have this color. In other parts is more, has to be more gray. So I have to replay the lines I didn't draw by pencil. So adding more detail by detail brush, the border of this line.
Wow.
Element. Behind. And start drying. Another couple of brush strokes when it's completely dry. And the water has to participate. Always some effects to show. Okay, now I will go out from Zoom because, okay, let's see, complete. Some very graphic, straight lines, very graphic. Like I say, the gesture, like in the drawing, the same character I have to repeat also by brush. Lavender I will now use touch of lavender, very is concentrated till here. As I say, you can also scratch for some lines, no? Okay. On the border of the light dark is more darker. Okay, maybe the shadow of, because the light comes from here and leave the shadow on the earth here. So is a, I will leave it in horizontal because it's horizontal space. A shadow on the earth. Okay. Always trying to mixture. This is not a simple because it's full emotional. What is easy to teach is the mathematical things. This is pure emotion. So I speak just to make you understand what I think when I do and trying to explain, but is difficult to teach something like this, because it's a feeling, and it's like to explain what the love is.
Wow, very romantic. It's like a dramatic, create a dramatic situation, no?
Dramatic? Yes, can be. In some place, come back for the darker bit, because it's the similar tonality with the earth. So come back to have something lighter, something darker. Okay. And in the water is possible also to leave some different signs. For example, in here, dark, light, again, dark. And to continue in the horizontal way, leaving just strokes, dry brush strokes like this. Some other reflections in the reflection of this building. Like this. And to show this part is light, I have to be darker. Especially in this part. Again, now the sailing lines like this, not from here, not from the point holding the brush, but from the distance, to have free lines. And trying to use in one shot. Sometimes it's good to have lost and found. For this reason, I touch by paper some places like this. Or the liner with the liner is possible also to add more. Straight lines. So there's something behind, not very strong. It's just looking through the, when you close your eyes and you can see just a little, try to analyze what is darker, what is lighter. Look at the painting to discover the darker elements. And after that, you think, in this dark, I want to add some color, or is just dark is enough? Because the main problem is to play with the tonal value. And only after this, the color can be important or not. It's possible to play this only with the black and white or with one color, monochromatic, and is okay anyway. Black and white also can be a nice idea to paint something in this way, trying to explore the brush strokes and to be a little bit more abstract and I repeat because I was covered. Okay. So we'll come back for the smaller details like this, maybe a flag or something there. And also to make darker in some places. I will show, for example, inside of the cabin, in some place, living to show is deeper. Okay, and maybe again a couple of drops, because this is kind of subject when I don't pretend to control everything. Casuality is a part of this painting, so playing with the water, drops, on the water, I want something happen in freedom. Can be also spray. In the horizontal, some brush strokes.
Oh, very nice.
you know, I want just you to bring in this atmosphere. I understand it's not easy and is really confusing.
It is.
But because this object is on the very close to me, through this dark object, I have to jump into the painting. For this reason, it has to be not super detailed and kind of no definition, not for this reason, I want to destroy a little bit the details in here to show through the dark. You have to go into the painting. And to maintain the same character, I start to use in the clouds, in the sky, in the reflection in here. And for example, come back to the boats, just a couple of dark lines. And if we want to add some detail, and also where this boat touch the water is darker than the boat, and it's possible to reflect a little bit the same stuff I do, but from this line down. And why not? I will add also in here just a couple of touches. And I think the painting also can be ready in any moment. Sometimes it's difficult to stop and is easy to destroy what we made before. So this is also the reason to say sometimes, no, stop. In case I have to add something, it's better to do it later when you go out, take a coffee, looking in different direction, and after you come back with the critical eye and clean eye. Is easy to criticize yourself, but if you spend a long time looking in one point, trying to understand what is darker, what is lighter, what after this is difficult. So for example, if I have to put some letters to, it's better to not be readable, only one letter or something, not translate all correct, because our brain starts to read everything and you focus on this, and after it's difficult to read everything around. Also in particularly in this place, it's possible to use also white, or as I say, or removing the color, or by liner with some touches of line can be also okay. Only in the final, the teacher always say no white, because when you start to use, after you cannot live without.
Is that true?
Yes, this is true. For this reason, when you trying to grow up and trying to learn, it's better to never use white. Only in a later, in the final, you can do just a bit. You can add 2 touches with the white is the best, because the white is not a color. We have to learn to play with the tonal value without white, leaving the white paper. Okay, I think it's done.
It's beautiful.
It's done. I will leave the mask out to show what we have as a final. I don't like with the tape around. Okay. I think you have a lot of this subject in Indonesia. And now you know how to paint in this way Indonesian subject, boats.
Yes.
So maybe yes, to don't think too much is better to sign. Yeah.
Okay. Guys, can you sign it together with Igor? Are you done?
Oh, it's too wet. Okay, mistake. Okay. Our time is also flying away.
Yeah.
I think it's 4:30, yes.
Exactly.
I will send you to the group the last picture. I will do it now. Yes. Okay.
Everybody in a rush to finish it everything.
Everybody is busy.
Yes. It's quite
beautiful.
challenging.
This is magic.
Yes.
We like a kids trying to mix the color, and that's it. And I tell to myself also, sometimes it's not the result, sometimes it's the process.
Yes.
The process is the life.
Yes.
When you already complete, you have a feeling of something you stop the process of something. Process, so it's like a picture. You take a picture, you try to capture the moment, but is that the moment is finished. So longer you paint, you enjoying the life. So yeah,
that is important.
Yes. So we have to learn also to not pretend much from ourselves. Is good to pretend. We have to grow up. We have to do better. But everything needs the time and not the hard work, but with love. We have to enjoy the process and to be quiet and everything will come in the right way if we plan in the right way. So if we enjoy the process, one day will come, and not on one day, many days, many times. We will have more satisfaction.
Maybe another 20 years like you did before, right?
I'm never satisfied 100%. Sometimes I'm like you, just not higher and no lower, just different. We are all different. If somebody want to be like me, I want to be like somebody else, but not like somebody else, like me, but in different way. Not anymore like I do, because I want to, like you, I want to learn. I want to be different than me, so I run from me. If you arrive and you are satisfied, is not okay. I think it's always time to do different things, to be new from yourself. So I have a competition inside of me, not between other people, but competition to be different than me yesterday.
Yeah, that's great.
So this is also a suggestion for other people to try. For example, you learn how to make the sky. Try to make in different way. Let's learn something from other people. I am also very interested in the speaking, watching, painting together with other colleagues, because always is a mixture, and we learn one from another one. I learn from my students, they learn from me. Beautiful what happened. So I will see, take your time to finish your work, if you're satisfied or not. If not, don't worry, start again.
With a new paper.
No limits. If you still have paper and color, use it. Because this is the right way to arrive. And I will see, and I will discuss about all of your results. If you are interested in the comments. If don't worry, it's okay. Just enjoy what you have.
I think everybody is so excited to waiting for your comment, because everybody like in a rush, want to finish everything tonight to have your feedback. I think
take your time, easy. Important. This is a lesson, and is the way how to paint this subject. Now you can use your time, and if you remember the steps, try again and try again till, for example, I tried in the classical way and I was not satisfied. I want something more, another step more. So I imagine can be also interesting for other people. What is complicated for Igor to paint, or why this way? Because in that way I paint yesterday. Today I'm different. So I want you also grow and change, because everything in change. So
yeah, wonderful. Igor, thank you for everything. I think, guys, are you still with us?
Yes.
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 I wait the moment when we will go on plein air, and we will stay all the day, spending the time in painting, lunchtime, dinner together.
Yes, yes.
Beer time, any moment is good.
Yes, hopefully if everything's settled, for sure we will do it next year when the drama of COVID go from Indonesia and all around the world. and the vaccinated is complete here, for sure we will do it in Indonesia with Igor, Ekaterina, Roberto also together and painting plein air, and then having lunch, having fun together.
Yeah, to spend 2-3 days will be nice to have a full immersion.
I think more, right? Maybe 4 or 5 days.
It's good because sometimes when the time is very short, is more confusing.
Yes,
we have to start with the plan and grow slowly step by step.
Yes. Like I said, for 7 days, 4 or 5 days for painting and 2 days for having fun or something.
Adopt me. Okay.
Okay, Igor, thank you very much.